Good morning. Welcome to Fallawsophy. I'm your host, Jennifer Fallaw, and I'm having technical difficulties. Fixed it? So, I didn't know what to talk about today. So, what we're going to do is we'll quickly go over the Jentel. I don't want to spend too much time on that. The Jentel for this week is posted on Fallawsophy on Telegram. Bink. There it is. You can go there. It's posted in written form. You can go view that there. All right, let's get to it. What am I doing? I'm looking for. What you're all witnessing is Jen on burnout. I do this every year about this time in March. I'm usually like, I need to get out of here. I need to go on vacation. I need to. Because what happens is I work really hard through the holiday season, yeah, and then I sell a lot of stuff because I know that January, February typically slow months, but this year I was booked for 3 months solid. Also, there's something going on with the website. Somebody booked a reading for tomorrow morning, right before the show. I don't know how you did that because I'm booked until April. But we're going to need to reschedule that because I'm getting ready for the show at that time. There's some kind of malfunction going on with the website, and I need to fix that and haven't had time. So, let's get to the Jentel. All right, so this is interdimensional meditation, and that was for yesterday, March 2nd, 2026. Sixth level of heaven, the library. I met with Jesus, the apostles, and the archangels. The dress was not a dress, it was full armor. RV News. Jesus spoke. The Iranian regime will collapse and surrender this week. Grain of salt on the timeline. A new government and structure will create a free land for the people. There will be an announcement by Trump when that happens, and after that, Iraq makes the public announcement of the new currency rates. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for a white flag, end of the conflict, coming in the news. I saw a dam break, like an actual dam. Could have been a dam of information, but I actually saw water coming down from that. Next one, terrorist groups found within the USA. So, bad guys on our own soil trying to get us from within. I saw a clock, and it stopped on 3 o'clock. I saw Chuck Schumer. He'll be in the news doing something, some kind of dirty deeds there. Silver on the rise, and then we wake up this morning and silver's tanking. So, but if I've learned anything from the divine, this is probably in the coming in the news, so you don't panic. It'll probably go back up. Okay? Secrets revealed about old wars. And then in the same line we have POW, Vietnam, and McCain. Something coming out about that. Last one, we have scrolls and tablets and Israel. So all you Anons out there like to solve mysteries and decode things, keep your eyes open for any information on that. Okay. Let's check the time, see where we're at. I have somebody at 11. We're good. Let's do a little thoughts over coffee. Okay. Before I begin, I should have done this. Can everybody hear me? Give me a 10-4. If you can hear me in the chat. I did have some technical difficulties, so if you can see me, you can hear me, let me know. Got a 10-4? 10-4? 10-4? Okay. Let's get to the notes. So I've been thinking about the humanitarians. I talk to them a lot. One of the things, a lot of people are very sure about what they want to do. A lot of people don't know what they want to do. They just want to do something. We all have our God-given talents, and every person has at least one thing that you're really good at. And many of us do things for our profession that we don't want to do. We just kind of, I'll do this. Now I'll do that. Maybe I'll do a little bit of this. Because it's responsible. That's what I did. And over time, we kind of, it seems random. It seems like, well, I like to do this one thing, but that's not responsible. I'm not going to make money out of that. So I'll just do whatever makes money and is responsible and helps me provide. But on a spiritual journey, we're led in certain directions. And sometimes we don't know why. Well, this seems random. This seems random. Well, life must just be some random, day by day process where we just don't really know who we are, or what we're doing, or where we're going. And there are things we're good at, but we can't do that. We can't do that because life's too hard. But if you take a look back ever so often, you'll find when you reach a certain place that all these puzzle pieces of your profession, relationships, things you spent your time doing start to form a picture about who you are and what you're capable of. And they start to make sense. And all along we're thinking, well, maybe someday when I retire, I can do more things that I like to do. Maybe someday, I'll win the lottery and I'll really pursue something that I'm passionate about. Maybe someday I can stop going to this job where I basically hate everybody and I don't like what I'm doing, and I just wake up in the morning and say, well, here I am. We work, we eat, we sleep, we die, right? No. Everything you do has meaning. And you'll find that out, especially those in this community who are on a path, like I've said before. You're being polished like diamonds. You've been in school. You've been doing a lot of things. to build who you need to be when you come to that place where you can shine. We're approaching a time where in our lives, where we will have the opportunity to do what we came here to do. Some people are very responsible. They work for other people. No, don't step out of the mold here. You're going to hurt somebody in the process if you don't get too crazy with it. Just go work for somebody else and get your 401k and your benefits and everything else. Well, I come from a long line of people who have all had their own business. So a lot of you have your own businesses too. It's kind of a visionary spirit. It's somebody who says, you know what? I feel really restricted in what I'm doing here. But for me, it was always, well, I put my all into whatever job I had, but I was always looking for some kind of creative outlet. Well, how can I use my creativity to do my best here? I always had to have a reason why. Who am I doing this for? Like I said, I come from a long line of people with had their own businesses. Let's see, Nana. I really don't know much about my father's side, because they didn't, we didn't interact with them much. But my mother's side was my grandparents were Nana and Papa. Nana was born in 1912, and I believe it was Norway. Papa came from Germany. His family came from Germany. I think they came out here when they were kids. They ended up in Minnesota. Mokes and the Thompsons, I think it was Thompson. Anyway, Nana had her own salon, hair salon, during the Depression, when that was like unheard of for a woman to have her own business. She had her own salon. And then they married and came out here, and she had a job as a proofreader. Papa, they moved out from Minnesota to California in the 40s, I think it was. And he had a toy store downtown San Diego, or Hillcrest, I can't remember. I'm just trying to remember from the stories. And then Nana, she had to get a job with somebody else, but they had their own business. They had the toy store. And then after that, he went into real estate and started Moog and Associates. He was a real estate broker. From that family, my uncle had his own printing business. My mother had her own salon. There's always one person in the family that works for someone else. And then my family, let's see, my mother had my own salon. My stepfather had many businesses in his own manufacturing business. My brother has his own construction company. And well, me, I found a way to have my own business from home without much overhead and to embrace my passion at the same time. So, and it is an outlet for me to use my creativity. And what am I teaching? God-centered conscious creation. But you'll find that in choosing a humanitarian project, you really want to break it down and find out what it is that you really enjoy. Like, what is the root desire? What is the root enjoyment? What is the root, so like with me, whatever job I had, like when one of the first jobs, I tried to I was working for J.C. Penney's in the bridal department before it went out. Sold everything. That was fun. And I liked the dresses, and I liked dressing the girls up, and I liked, making them happy. So there are two things that make me really happy: to see other people happy and to create something beautiful. That's the root. So no matter where I went, um, if the success of my work made my employers happy, or somebody or the customers happy, then that is what I did. I made sure they would walk into a store or into, I went from the dress department to the junior department, which was like huge at the time. Malls were huge. And then I went into display, and I was making these giant displays, that were just kind of like, I was like a Disney Imagineer in there. Um, it made a difference. It made me happy. It made me enjoy my work. And then to see somebody else happy, to see that employer happy, to see the numbers doing well, whatever it was, relieve the stress from the employers. The employees were happier. I mean, just all along the board, the root desire was to make people around me happy and create beauty. In my younger life, I created beauty through playing the piano, singing, art, just anything I did. I tried to find a way, even if it was something like, go clean your room. Okay, well, I'm going to clean the room, but then I'm going to completely redecorate it, move everything around. So you have to find what it is that is your truest desire that you're good at, and then add that into your current position, add that into your current activities. And if you're just stuck in a job that you hate and there's no way to do that, then get some hobbies and add that into your life. But when you're choosing humanitarian project, this is what you need to look at. If you choose something that you really don't care about, and you're just thinking, well, I could do this because I see a need, you have to choose something that you're passionate about, or it will not sustain you. You'll give up on it. People who find their own way, have their own businesses, decide to do something different, they're the visionaries. They're taking the road less traveled. But in taking the road less traveled, you may just find your paradise. You should always let your soul sing. And whatever you're doing, find a way to do that. If you're in, let's say your profession is in medicine, and you're totally disgusted by it, and you're just like, well, I hate that I have to do this and have to do that. And I feel bad about my profession now because I prescribed things, or I did things, or I gave vaccines, or I did whatever, that they said I had to do. No. What were you really doing? What is your real desire? Was it simply to make money? No, people don't really go into medicine simply to make money. Money's part of it. If you're a doctor, if you're a surgeon. What is the root desire there? To take the pain away. To make it all better. You're a healer. So in looking for, use what you know. My papa told me one time, find one thing that you're really good at and do that. Nurture that. Perfect that, and you cannot go wrong. So I did. Took me a long time to figure out what that one thing was. But if we break it down to the main concept, the basic idea, the root desire, then you can find professions or humanitarian projects that are in line with that, in many different areas. If your desires take the pain away, that's always been one of my desires too, is to make everything okay. When I was a child, I could not stand, I still can't stand suffering of any kind. And that's a lot of times, that's why I'm a pushover. But, like when the babies, when I was a kid and I heard kids crying in the store, I couldn't stand it. It wasn't that it was annoying, it was that I couldn't stand that they were suffering and no one was doing anything about it. I didn't understand about fits and stuff like that. We didn't really throw fits. That was unacceptable when I was growing up. We didn't throw fits. Um, so when I had children, I was very hands-on mom. I mean, I was on it. I mean, Faith, my first child, spoiled the hell out of her. But I was on it. That kid rarely cried at all because I was already, like, I was so in tune with this child. I was like, okay, she's hungry. She's dirty. She's this, she's that. What is it? You know, and I would get ahead of it so that she didn't cry. I didn't want her to suffer in any possible way. Humanitarians have that kind of spirit. They see a problem, they want to end the suffering, they want to make it okay, they want to take the pain away, they want to, or even stop the injustices. So in choosing your project, some people still haven't. Okay? And some people are like, well, if I have to do something to get bed tickets, then I'll do this. But just understand that you may be approved for that. Now, you have to sign the papers and accept the humanitarian funds for that. So you could always decline later. But I don't believe that you're locked in no matter what you say. Well, no, you have to do this now. But if you're going to choose something that lets your soul sing. Choose something that will carry you through and become your passion and that you'll enjoy. Everybody has their special talents. Some people, I ask people, what special talents do you have? Oh, I don't have any. Yes, you do. Everybody does. It's not that you have to play an instrument or anything like that. Everybody has a special talent. The archangels have special talents. They can do everything. All the archangels, they can heal, they can guide, they can protect. But like Archangel Raphael, his specialty is healing. It's his passion. It's what his soul desires to do. Michael, Archangel Michael, protection. To protect. To shield people from harm. Gabriel, he's the communicator. He's the messenger. To inform, to guide. He has his specialties, but he can do everything. So find out what yours is. Just take a real deep look at everything that you've done. My life seemed random for a really long time until I took a look at it like that. And I'm like, well, the root intention, the desire underneath it all, and what really made me shine was it was always something creative, to create something beautiful, to surround people in beauty and peace, to take the pain away, to make people happy. Why? How does that make sense? Is it because everybody's, because it makes me happy? Well, yeah, it does make me happy. But, is it just because of my own, baggage that I got to make everybody happy around me so that I'm okay? No, it's not. It's an unquenched desire that I have to do. I'm just I do it no matter what. It's who I am. And that's how my soul sings. And why? What will I eventually do? Nobody knows what they will eventually do when they're in school learning what to be or who they are. I have some idea now, but probably not the whole idea. I probably don't know everything. But what's God-centered conscious creation? I want people to be happy because that's when they're pulling in high vibrational energy. They're pulling it in, they're pushing it out, they're sending around laughter. Laughter is a huge boost to high vibrational energy. It's healing. Love. When you say love, people think of romantic love. Love is truth. It's goodness. It's being a vehicle for high vibrational energy, allowing it into your body. And when you make something okay for people, they are resonating in that happiness, which is a higher vibrational energy. And I am eventually, and looking back, I didn't know that I would eventually go on to teach people how to hold more of this in their body, and in turn, wake up and remember who they really are, and learn to function more as a soul than as a lump of flesh with blinders on. Right now, I'm here talking to the humanitarians because you are people, a humanitarian spirit wants this. Light workers, yes. Same thing. We all have a goal to create more of that here, to raise the vibration, to help all the pieces of God take off the sunglasses and the veil, pull that veil off, and to shine, to be who they really are. And so we're all pieces of a puzzle that will form a very beautiful picture. And that picture is the ultimate truth. And every puzzle piece is as important as the next, isn't it? When you're putting a jigsaw puzzle together, all the pieces of God are important. All the pieces of the puzzle are important. If you're missing one, it's not a complete picture, is it? It's just not the same. So, your part, my part, however big or small, are all equally important. I mean, if you just want to do something in one area for your humanitarian project and you don't think like it's really making a world impact, all the pieces together make the world impact. All the team members win the game. The entire band produces the song. And most of the time, all the credit is given to the frontman in the band, the singer, right? But it not only is it all the other players in the band, other musicians, but all the people behind the scene that put on the show, or all the people that produce the music. It goes on and on and on. All the people at home that support those people so they can do that. Or just even emotion, even the wife at home to the producer of the music or the show or whatever it is that says, "Oh, I'm so tired. I want to quit my job. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't think I can do this." And said, "No. You love this. You have to continue to do it. Here's a sandwich. Take a nap. I love you. I'll be here no matter what you say." And then the guy rises and he's like, "I can do this." And then we've got some song that lives on for eternity. And how important is that song? Well, it could be the song you listened to that pulled you out of a dark hole. It could be the song that you remember that was playing on a very special day. It means a lot. It produces a lot of joy. Um, so you see how this ripple effect can happen even if your humanitarian project is something small, like giving money to musicians so that they can pursue what makes their soul sing. Those are the people that had to take these terrible jobs that they don't like because they never got to do what they wanted to do because it wasn't practical, it wasn't responsible, it wasn't, the chances of being big and making enough money doing it were too slim, and they never did it. Now we're looking at we'll start at the band that made the song, okay? So what if it was the singer? He's in the very center of that. And we've got this ripple effect that goes out. You're out here. How important was your contribution to that man so that he could pursue his singing career? If you take a look at the big picture and the ripple effect of that, and then out to all the people forevermore who listened to that song or that music and it brought joy into their lives or helped them out of something or spoke to them, that puzzle piece is not small. You see? Yes, there are people that are going to go out into the world and they're going to do big things all on their own. But we are all connected. Our efforts are all connected. And every puzzle piece is equally as important. Every effort is equally important. Every talent is equally important. We are all housed within the body of God, all loved equally. And your efforts should come from a place of truth deep within you. This is who I really am. This is what drives me. I have this idea in my head, and I've thought about it all these years. But now we're coming up into a time where we may have the opportunity to do that. Yes, you can't do that without, the RV. You could do it here and there. It's just harder. But we're actually going to have an opportunity to really do it. So be sure when you're choosing a humanitarian project, it speaks truth about who you really are, where you've been, and what color your puzzle piece is. What part of the picture are you? People get upset. People get tired of waiting. Now, test of patience, written in all our lives. All right, let's just go ahead and accept that right now. Because of anybody, we have been patient. But becoming patient, having to be patient, really makes you wise, doesn't it? And not freaking out. And there's times we have our bad days, I don't know if I can do this, and I don't know if this is real, and oh my God, this is too hard, and it's not coming fast enough, and blah, blah, blah. But those who go through that, work through that on their own, or people close to them, or with God, choose not to inflict pain because they are suffering. Choose to get through it quickly, get back to center, and know that there's a reason for it. Those are the humanitarian spirits. That's why you're still here. Are we all delusional? Maybe. I'd say there's more evidence to support that we're not and to support that we are. Being love is being truth. Okay. And a lot of people think, well, I can't tell the truth because it's going to hurt somebody. Well, let's find out. Let's decide what truth really is. So let's say, not opinion. Your opinion is not always the truth. Um, example of that. I think I've used this one before. Let's say, husband and a wife. I can't tell my wife that those pants make her look fat when she asked me, so I lied to her and said she looked fine. Said she was beautiful. Is she beautiful? Is she beautiful to you? And you didn't lie. And fat is an opinion. Beautiful is an opinion. Compared to what and according to who? Somebody who is like 300 pounds would think I'm very thin. Somebody who is 100 pounds would think I have too much weight on me. One man would think I'm the most beautiful thing in the world. Another man would see nothing but my faults. It is in the eye of the beholder. It is an opinion. Perfect is an opinion. In the eyes of God, though, who sees the true perfection, you are beautiful. You are perfect. And you are perfectly following the divine plan that He entrusted you to come down here and execute. Did you have to know humility? Did you have to have faults? Did you have to be a little crazy to learn to be grounded? Did you have to be surrounded by darkness to be that beacon of light? Yeah. So, in choosing your project, clear away all the opinions, clear away all the crap, clear away all the perceived failures and the randomness of everything. Understand you've been following a divine plan. What is it deep within you that drives you? What is it that you're really good at? Because if you pursue that and have the funds to do it, then the love and the energy that is truly you is going to flow into that project and you will be extremely successful. So, do that. And then ask to be guided. We're supposed to come into life and not remember who we are completely. I mean, if we did, we wouldn't want to be here. Just stepping in front of buses and stuff. We're just like, you know what? I don't know what kind of idiot I was when I wrote this, but I want to go back home. You're all warriors. You're all humanitarians. You're all truth seekers. What's with that today? I'm burning out, I'm telling you. And then I've got like readings until 4, constant talking all day long. I think that's what it is. These yearly forecasts are really burning me out because it's like a remote viewing session. And those are really hard. And I just learned that when you do it all day long, you get tired. Get a little wacky. And then I'm trying to sleep more at night. And I'm like, okay, it's like 7:30. I'm like, can I go to bed yet? Is that not okay? I mean, and then I'm thinking I'm going to go to bed early. And then I get on my phone. I'm like, oh, it's too early to go to bed. Then I'm like scrolling. I'm doing stuff. And then all of a sudden it's like 11 p.m. And I'm like, all right, now you have to go to bed. You have to go to bed. Then, with the dogs and brush the teeth and get cleaned up and get everything ready. And it was almost midnight last night before I went to bed. Then I laid there forever thinking I have to go to sleep now. And when I do that, I can't go to sleep. So I finally go to sleep, and then I had a nightmare that I was in the bathroom and there was a candle on the back of the toilet and it caught my hair on fire. And so I smashed it out. My hair was on fire, and then half my hair is gone. And then all of a sudden, I have to go to this event. It was like a party or wedding or something. And I'm trying to, somebody told me there was a wig I could put on. And so I'm trying to find the wig. I'm all stressed out about the hair. And then, so I wake up exhausted. So what happens with me is when I do this too much for too long, my mind won't stop. It won't stop. Not like weird, crazy, it won't stop, but just like it, I can't. So anyway, I've got an easy week coming that I scheduled. I knew this was going to happen. Every March, about mid-March, I'm like, okay, it's time for vacation. Burnout. Especially up here in the Northwest, we go through the winter time. And there's really nothing to do here in the wintertime. Unless you're a skier, and there really wasn't that much snow this year. So about this time, the gray starts. And everybody's just like stir crazy. They just want to go somewhere. So if I disappear for a week. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. Anyway, I've said this for many, many, many years. Always let your soul sing. And if you're doing a lot of things in your life where that's not possible, add something in that allows you to do that. Stop telling yourself you can't. I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't do this, I can't do that. Because what that does in your created reality is creates almost like this prison. You've created your parameters there, your box, when we're the ones who are breaking out of the box. If you're going to say can't, I can't do that now. Or I could do that. We have to change the way that we think, the way that we talk, the energy that we keep inside ourselves. And it all starts in your mind. But each and every person here has something, good hearts, and something that you're really good at. And that is a desire. And what is that desire? Is it to protect? Is it to heal? Is it to guide? Is it to facilitate change? What is it? Find it and do that. And you can't go wrong. Let's get to some readings. I think the next show, Thursday. I'm either going to do it in the morning. I'd like to do it at night when there's more people around. But I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hourly readings on that day. I'll try to get it in. Okay. What the hell am I doing? Let's go over to Rumble. You can start your Rumble rants. We have half hour. Do we? Yes, we do. Loading. Guys, go ahead and start your Rumble rants. Monthly supporter. Hi, Jen. Kathy Clem here. We're flying to Arizona this month. Will everything go well? Oh, $10 minimum on the Rumble rants, please. Otherwise, there's too many. Everything does go well. Mary Ebbs, hi Jen. Can you please tell me when my nephew Matt will meet his forever love? Matt. Well, it's not our business, but I can give you kind of an idea. It's in the spring. Not sure if it's this year or next year. Lori John. Hi, Jen. Lori here. I sent my daughter Jessica 30th birthday gift last week. You said she didn't pick it up. Can you tell me? Has she seen it yet? No response. She has. She doesn't want the confrontation. So you guys must have problems or something. I'm getting a lot of like ego. Like I don't want to be the one to reach out. I don't want to be the one to start the conversation. So I don't know what's going on there. K-Mag, loving grandma here. My beautiful, headstrong 18-year-old granddaughter booked a solo trip to Paris. Oh my God, over spring break. I'd be so worried. Will she be safe? Let's see. She'll be fine. I do see her accompanied by some friends either over there or somebody else that goes with her or joins up with her. I don't think she's going to be alone the whole time. She'll be okay. Yeah, if it wasn't my daughter, I'd flip out. I'd flip out. Oh my gosh. Sugar Bee 2023. My name is Donna, and I'm a caregiver for my brother-in-law, James. I am desperate to get him in long care nursing home because I am unable to give him the care he needs. Do you see this happening? I do see it happening soon if this should drag on any longer. Otherwise, you get him into a med bed. He doesn't need it. 2 timelines there. Yeah. God's helping you with this. Belfast Girl 2. 25. Thank you. Hi, Jen. Jackie V again. A huge shift happened this week with the company I'm contracting with. Can you see me losing my job? Am I okay? No. You're not going to lose your job. I really see you leaving them before they leave you. Joanne, I'm confused from Sky's last post about age progression. When I come out of the med bed, will I look the age and weight we talked about? Yeah. It's just like somebody who you can't tell how old they are. They're older, but you never know. So the body heals itself and results will vary. So it's not age regression. They shouldn't use that term, but they're just trying to describe what happens to the body when it has enough energy to heal itself, so it's fixing the imperfections. It's tightening the skin, it's filling in the wrinkles, like the skin regenerates itself. It turns back on everything that was turned off as you age and accumulate toxins and sediment. The immune system gets lower, and it'll turn off all these switches that are unessential, like the production of collagen under the skin, the pigment in the hair, and it'll use its energy to keep you alive and functioning. So when the body is given a large concentration of energy, it will heal itself. Um, what I have seen from the readings is that the body continues to do that. There is a lot of rapid cell regeneration that goes on after that, and they tell you to go home and rest and eat and sleep. Um, but there are a lot of things that are done initially in a very fast way, and you will appear much younger because everything's fixed. But you will still be the same age. Age is just how many years you've been on the planet. Okay? Okay, Joanne. VCal 21. Do you see my counter offer being accepted for this new job? Will I accept it? I think that's yes. Yeah. My name is David. Will I hold my health long enough to get to a med bed? It's really not a fair question. You're asking me if you're going to die before you get to a med bed. I understand why you're asking. Yes. Hello, Jen. Good morning, Linda. Excuse me, Linda here. What day do you see me signing an offer for 201? Yeah. What day do you see me signing an offer for 201 King Elder Way? I think it's in May. Beginning of May. Keep hearing May. Chosen 3333. Hi, Jen. This is Cappy. Will my daughter Kaylee, be getting engaged or maybe even having a wedding when she comes to Vegas next week? You're going to ruin the surprise, is what Gabriel just said. You're going to have to wait and see. But, sounds like it. My car isn't, let's see, HNNBL. My car isn't throwing computer codes, but is acting concerning. Solenoid, torque converter, transmission combination of what or something else. Not sure if I can wait till the RV. You know, you're speaking gibberish to me right now. I mean, I don't know anything about cars. That's not my job. I mean, when I grew up, that was not my job. My grandfather even got mad at my brother, which was cool. It was funny as hell. When I was moved out and I wasn't doing the oil changes and stuff on the car, because all the men always did that. That's not my freaking job, all right? So, to know that kind of stuff. I don't have an aptitude for it. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. You know? So you want me to tell you what's wrong with the car? So my grandfather actually got mad at my brother Randy because I was over at Papa's house and he's looking at my car. He's like, Where's your? He wanted me to keep like this little book and every little thing. We had to document every little thing we did with the car. And I didn't have the book, and I wasn't doing that. And he's like, "When was the last time you got an oil change and all this stuff?" I don't know, like 6 months ago. And he gets and he looks at me. He's like, he yells at my brother, "Why aren't you taking care of her car?" And I'm like, "Yeah, Randy, why aren't you taking care of my car?" I don't know what's wrong with your freaking car. Let's choose from one of the options here. Michael, Archangel Michael. You always want to ask Michael when you're talking about machinery, cars, things like that. Michael, what is it? Solenoid torque converter transmission. It's a torque converter. Jen, I hope you know how much sunshine you bring to all of us. My question, well, thank you. Do you see me receiving humanitarian funding? Danae. Yes. And I felt a very loving, happy yes from Gabriel. Yeah, that was awesome. I'm waiting for more questions. That was awesome when he got mad at my brother for that. I'm like, yeah, Randy. What the hell? I mean, why aren't you taking care of my car? But that's how we were raised. Like, it wasn't that we couldn't do those things. It was just that the men did these things because we were so busy doing all the other stuff, being the nurturers and, just the way we were raised. And then when I was growing up, like all the guys, they had their cars and they were working on the cars. And then you got a boyfriend, they're like, well, I can fix that. And you're like, well, you go ahead and fix that and I will make you happy. I don't do cars. Nowadays, it's all computerized, isn't it? So it's like you really don't know what the hell's going on. You have to take it in. Oh my goodness. Yeah. There we go. Iridescent 7. Hi, Paul. Do you see me taking a business trip to Taiwan in the second half of March, or will the world events prevent that trip? Second half of March, possibility. You don't have to go. Okay. Business trip, second half of March for Paul. As of now, even if we RV, I think you still go. Because at that time, it's like too quick to just cancel on everybody. But I do see it's a safe trip. Okay. I would plan to go. Okay, Linda S. here. How long after my RV appointment is your medbed appointment? Linda S. About 2.5 weeks. I was trying to get information today on what's going on in the world scene. I think we're letting this play. Oh, I heard that Israel bombed the meeting where they were trying to elect a new religious leader. I mean, come on, dude. That's not fair. I mean, I don't know. But we did get in the Jentel. They were trying to elect a new supreme leader. I mean, that's pretty shitty. But we don't really know who these people really are, You not do that, Iridescent 7, Paul. I'm trying to look at the business trip as an adventure. Yeah, we should probably try to look at our lives as an adventure. When you shift over, now we want to stay grounded. We have to be normal. but to function. Don't embarrass the children. All right. But if just in your mind, remind yourself that you are on a mission, or you are here from a much better place. Yes, on a vacation. You're on a trip. You're on a business trip. You know, um, think about it that way, and then it's a little bit more entertaining. We all come here to experience being here, to experience all the emotions. I mean, you don't lose emotion. You just lose the low vibrational negative um, results of emotion when you go home. You have understanding, and it gets rid of a lot of that, like hate and fear and jealousy and all that stuff. It goes away because you understand, looking at it from a higher perspective, that well, I see why they did what they did, and I know why I did what I did, and I know that it was in the divine plan. So understanding. But if you take a look at your life with understanding, you take a look at it as a divine plan, and you kind of can release yourself from all of the perceived failures. Oh my God, I never should have been with him. I got a lot of those. Got a lot of those. But I learned something from every single last one of them. Every relationship, every job, every experience has value. And it's built who you are right now. And you need to be who you are right now to do what you're going to do next. And when you view life that way, it kind of releases everything. And then you can be free, knowledgeable, wise, and move forward in a positive direction. Also taking responsibility for your part in anything that, are you keeping yourself in your own created prison? Are you allowing somebody else to be the warden? Are they even aware that they're the warden? Oh, I couldn't possibly move forward with my life because of this person. What would they think? What would people think? Well, I think people think that they don't give a crap, really, about what you do with your life. They'll probably talk about it for about 15 minutes, and they're going to go on and do whatever the hell they want to do with their life anyway. And you've kept yourself in a prison. You're not doing anything that you want to do for the comfort of these people who are probably going to be gone someday anyway. It's all ridiculous. Okay, what time is it? Yeah, I gotta get going. Hi Jen, do you see my husband? I still going to Petra, Jordan in May. If not, somewhere else. May. I do feel like you guys are still going somewhere in May, but you might choose somewhere tropical. Possible. Scott, 1484. Hi, Scott. Thanks for the perspective and insight. Helps to stay balanced. Right. Goal. Balanced. Let's be balanced. And Trisha, I am not perfect in any way. Well, it depends on what you think perfect is. But I have my hard days. I go through it just like you guys do. After practicing these things for many years and seeing things from a different perspective, you start to see the world differently. You start to see yourself differently, see your life differently. I just pull out of things fast. I do. I heal fast. I pull out of things fast. And then it helps you stay balanced. Okay, this was hard. Let's feel this. That's the first thought in the back of my mind. That's gonna hurt. Yep, here it comes. I can feel it hurting. This is hurting now. Nope, I want to push it away. Let's shove that way down deep somewhere and deal with it later. No. Let's just deal with it now. Let's just feel the pain now. Let's come to some kind of conclusion. Okay, how can we alchemize this? How can we turn it into a lesson? Let's go through it, but let's be done with it. Let's move forward. Let's not stay here because here hurts, right? Joe, Weather Joe. Hi, Joe. Hi, Jen. You know I think you're the best. Oh, thank you. Do I do the medbed healing? I have so many baseball trips with. Yes, you do. I've got so many baseball trips with Kirsch, and I would have to explain the changes. Do it. They'll get over it. I don't know, wear a hat, sunglasses, and, I don't know. If people stare at you, give them the eye. Like, they'll stop staring at you. I don't know. You know what I've seen in the readings, though, is that there's this classroom that everybody goes into after they're done with their sessions. And so I saw other people, there's this classroom. They're talking to you about aftercare, what to expect, what not to expect. And then they're also talking to people about, I see people raising their hand like, what am I supposed to tell everybody? So they have a story for us. They are counseling on us there at the facility on what to say, how to handle it. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. Just do it. Okay. All right, last stop the Rumble Rants. I gotta go. Hi, Jen. How far do I drive to the Redemption Center? I'm going by myself. Thanks for all you do. Patting. It's about a half an hour. It's not a big deal. You'll do fine. Let's see. Carol, Iridescent 7, by the way. Marcy did an amazing job cleansing my household and home. Such a big difference afterwards. I know your healing work for my daughters was also super helpful. Well, thank you for letting us know. Yeah, it does make a huge difference. It's just a cleaner environment. It's hard to describe. It's like, it's kind of feeling like this or heavy or just really hard to pull out a negative thought or to, feel tired all the time or angry or irritated. And then to get the house cleansed and it's just kind of like, oh, like somebody opened the windows and let in a bunch of fresh air, energetically. So if you guys would like to get a house cleanse with Marcy Howell, it's available on jenniferfallaw.com. Oh, that's right. Let's do some self-promotion before I leave. This is my email. Please do not email me and just talk about your day. This happens. Make sure there's a reason why you want to email me. Business, something. Where the hell is it? To book a reading with me, you can go to Fallawsophy.com. You can purchase and schedule yourself there. For healings and cleansings, and to reach Marcy Howell and get a cleanse from her, she can do it faster than I can. Go to jenniferfallaw.com. All right, guys, got to get going. Somebody's going to call me in 6 minutes. Oh, I'm thinking about doing evening shows instead of morning shows. So comment. Where are you going to comment? Don't send me emails about it because then it's more work. Comment on Fallawsophy on Telegram and in the chat and let me know, or on one of my posts, that you would like evening shows. I think we could spend more time if I did it in the evening. But I'm not sure after like 6 hours of talking constantly, I'm going to want to do that. So, but if everybody wants me to do that, I'll probably do it. But I'm interested to hear your thoughts on that. Okay. Everybody have a good day. Stay positive. And I will see you tomorrow morning on Real News Live with Mike and Jen on Rumble. Bye.